Welcome to Home Library Book Review, where we select a book right from the shelf and explain its learning through easy to understand text, graphics, examples, and animation, along with discussion with family members.
Hey everyone! Today we're going to review The More You Do, the Better You Feel by David Parker.
This practical book is loaded with proven ideas to help you overcome procrastination and get more done. It gives advice on how one can avoid procrastination by taking the first step towards action and start feeling good about it. Author highlights the use of J.O.T method, which can help one to become a doer, and it also has a Goodreads rating of 4 out of 5. David Parker suffered for years with depression and anxiety. During a particularly low point, he recalled a friend's advice and started keeping a feelings diary. As time passed, he saw a connection between the tasks that he avoided facing and his poor feelings and low self-esteem. Armed with the insight, David taught himself to face his tasks and the overwhelming feelings they brought by learning to focus on just one task, which he incorporated into J.O.T method. He has lived in London, San Francisco, and Brooklyn, New York. Before we move ahead, Arnav, can you tell me what is procrastination?
Dad, I think procrastination means delaying.
It could also be postponing. You can also say procrastination can be dithering. It can also be called as vacillation, or let's say dilly-dallying. You know, procrastination is the enemy of success. I can't wait to go through this book review. What about you, Arnav?
Yeah, Dad, let's begin.
A life in such perfect conflict. People are people, whatever culture we may hail from, and no matter our differences, there are extra special times when many of us share the same traditions. All of us know what we want to achieve in life, but do we really go that extra mile? Probably not. How many times we have told ourselves, I want to make more money, or I'm going to lose 25 pounds. However, we almost never hear someone say that I've been dissatisfied with the fruits of my labor, so I'm going back to school to learn some skills so that I'll be able to make more money. Or lately I have been reducing sweets and snacks in favor of healthier things, but what I need to really do is to find a 24 hours gym in my neighborhood, work out, and be able to lose 25 pounds. Now that we know what we want and how to achieve it, but still we keep on delaying our actions to achieve the same, then we are doing nothing else than procrastinating. We could be procrastinating in the workplace. We could also be procrastinating at home. We might be carried away along by the tides of circumstances. We might be getting caught in two minds, whether to do it or not to do it. And more often than not, get stuck in a conflict. But the good news is change is possible. If you work at overcoming your own habitual procrastination, you will start overcoming the fear that has interfered with your ability to deal with the tasks and projects that you have learned to automatically shy away from. You will discover that you are far more capable than you thought possible, and your new definitions of yourself will be based upon newer self beliefs garnered from positive experiences. All you really need to overcome procrastination is willingness. The Human Ostrich. There are characteristics and behavior, when found in someone, could qualify them to be a human ostrich, such as believing that worrying over a task is a helpful activity, or become overwhelmed by anxiety while trying to choose between several high priority tasks, or just being resourceful at finding excuses for not doing and not having done. It could also be having a profound dislike for tasks that are complicated or take more than few minutes to accomplish. Or it could be daydreaming excessively, or just feel envy at the superior abilities that they believe others have, or having negative thinking as a first reaction to any task that needs to be done, or feel impatient or frustrated on how much time this particular task is taking. As procrastination grows stronger, the procrastinator feels weaker. There are times when we can really surprise ourselves with our ability to conceal our inner self. Habitual procrastination causes its sufferers to feel like they are less than other persons, and it makes them feel sad, aimless, and unfulfilled in their lives. They also feel impatient and frustrated much of the time, as though there isn't enough time and there will never be enough time to do all the things that they need to do, yet simultaneously don't want to deal with it. And therefore, by exhibiting such characters and traits, a human being tends to act like a human ostrich. Willingness to change. There are some golden rules. If one is mindful of them, then he or she can overcome habitual procrastination. Always keep the promises that you make with yourself. Try not to compare and despair. Avoid giving yourself vague or conflicting instructions for accomplishing tasks. Respond to your tasks in a logical way. The primary goal of accomplishing your tasks is to increase your self-esteem. Be wary of making harsh or inappropriate self-statements. Understand that there will be consequences for your inaction. Remember that procrastinators are great at finding excuses. Learn to face your overwhelming emotions. Avoid being a perfectionist. Take the pressure off yourself by developing patience from within. Therefore, by using these golden rules, one can overcome habitual procrastination and achieve what they want to achieve in their own lives. Just one task, the J.O.T method. Habitual procrastinators tend to float away from reality by never tying themselves down to their tasks. When one doesn't feel connected to his or her tasks, it's easy to become distracted and to float away from them. Now, in order to put an end to this habit of floating, one needs to consider taking up a new behavior, one that's the opposite of floating, which will help you stay grounded in reality. Luckily, there is a simple technique you can easily adopt to help overcome floating and habitual procrastination, and it can keep you focused on just one task at a time. That technique is called the J.O.T method. One of the greatest ironies of habitual procrastination is that in order to concentrate on getting just one task done, we need to mentally put aside the often tremendous number of undone tasks we have yet to deal with, all of which weigh heavily upon our minds. In order to veer away from habitual negative way of thinking, we need a good tool. And that tool is the J.O.T method. The J.O.T method is incredibly effective because it's simple to use. You can easily adapt it to your needs, and most importantly, it teaches you to concentrate on the task at hand while eliminating those otherwise bothersome distractions. The J.O.T method gives you permission to engage in the activity of your choosing. Then, after completing the task, you reward yourself by striking the tasks from the list. Drawing a line through a completed task has another benefit for you, because as habitual procrastinator, instead of being proud of our achievements, we often discount our efforts by second guessing ourselves as to how much we have really gotten done. Therefore, by using J.O.T method, anyone can overcome procrastination by just focusing on one task at a time. Dealing with setbacks. We often blame ourselves for not being able to achieve our tasks and get into a victim mentality mode, thinking about all the setbacks that we have in our life. But are we really measuring success correctly? We can avoid getting into this mentality by understanding the rules of engagement. We should never have any unrealistic expectation of us. We should reconsider what a reasonable goal is for us. We should strive forward for realistic expectation and realistic goals. We should learn to reframe our tasks and difficult situations. We should try not to jump too far ahead of ourselves. We should learn to laugh at troublesome situations at times. We should always develop a positive attitude by catching ourselves when we are being a pessimist. We should try not to compare ourselves to others. We should calm ourselves down by recalling a way that's worked for us in the past. We should stop panicking by engaging in positive self-talks. Always remember, your setback is the platform for your comeback. Advanced techniques. We can overcome procrastination by using some advanced techniques such as combining two or more similar tasks that we can do together, counting each and every task. When it's done, we strike it off and go to the other one, dealing with all the tasks with a smile on our face, prioritizing the tasks that are more important than others, having patience to go through each and every task, having willingness to complete the task, and finally rewarding ourselves after successful of each task, no matter how small or how big that was. Arnav, can you please help me with the next slide on procrastinating students?
Sure, Dad. Helping the procrastinating student. Students procrastinate for many of the same reasons that adults do. However, the biggest difference between the two is found in the consequences of their inaction. Here are some typical reasons why a student may procrastinate: because he or she never developed good study habits. The student finds a particular subject to be boring and then treats it as a low priority by avoiding it. A student finds the subject too complicated and instead of dealing with the material, he or she backs away from it. A student may use procrastination as an improvised method for coping with stress. The approach could be called out of sight, out of mind. If procrastination has gone on for long enough, the student may not be aware of any other ways of dealing with difficult schoolwork and projects. Therefore, as discussed earlier, the J.O.T method can help a student to overcome procrastination.
Let's summarize what we have reviewed so far. A life in such perfect conflict, the human ostrich, willingness to change, just one task, the J.O.T method, dealing with setbacks, advanced techniques, and finally helping the procrastinating student.
Thank you for watching our video. Please like, subscribe, and put comments. Your comments will help us to know what you would like us to work on. And also, don't forget to click on the bell notification button so that you are the first one to get more videos like these. Until next time, take care and bye.